Well, after what have we got here? 2 years since we've pulled this truck down to the farm. You'll have to go back and look for that video. So hey, you see this project truck my daughter has purchased? She wanted an old truck, so she found one. A Ram 350. April 1990 looks like it was built. And it's got 124,600 miles on it. And as I said, I think it runs. I know brakes need to be redone. I think it needs a fuel pump. That's what is preventing it from running right now, but I think it needs a master cylinder. I'm not sure why. She didn't get this from me because I'm not into projects like this, but she wanted an old truck, something that doesn't have all that computer stuff on it, something that the government can't track you with, I guess. So this has been Farmer's Daughter's project truck. Apparently it's running. She's redone the brakes on it, new fuel pump in there, and just some other minor things that she's done to it. So it is running. Now the next step in this process is to take the flatbed off of this truck. We're going to have to modify it and cut it to the length we need and put it on this truck. So we've got, I was looking at this yesterday, and you can see my board I've got up here trying to measure things and get them straight. I think what we're going to have to do, because this rail, the frame here, drops down about 4 inches in the front, then raises up over the wheel there and the axle, and then only drops down about maybe 2 inches here. So there are a couple of ears on here that we can set that body on, but I think I'm gonna get a welder down here and maybe put a couple of more ears down here, maybe one here, and another one here, and another one here. So what's gonna happen, this bed is decent, and for what she's going to do with that truck there, this will work. You know, we've got some oak boards on the top of here, so they're gonna last a while. And the way this is spaced out with these two runners here, they're actually going to go just outside of the frame on this truck. So I think that's going to work out pretty good by, you know, putting a couple more ears just on the side here to hold this this runner that's going to be on that other bed. So that's the game plan. She has already taken the hitch off. We had a hitch on this truck, so she has taken that off, got it painted up. She's going to mount that on here, and so the next step is this thing here. It's going to be a little bit too wide. I think she's figured so these were some iron rails that we had going down the side here just for a little bit of protection. I think she said she's got to cut about 3 inches off on each side of this bed, and this is a 16-foot bed, so she doesn't need 16 feet. So I think what we're going to have to do in order for it to work right over the wheels is measure from the wheels. So we'll have to cut, you know, some off of the back and some off of the front to get our 8 feet out of this. But this truck is no good. It is quit running. I bought this truck mainly, it was a bread truck, and it had a nice box on the back of it. So I bought this truck cheap mainly for the box. And we put the box up at the hardware store for storage up there, for outside storage. This truck still ran when I bought it, so I ran it a couple of years with this flatbed on it. We didn't have much money in the flatbed because we had all the lumber sitting around here on the farm, so it was just a little bit of time to put that flatbed on there. I ran the truck, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. I could move some seed on it. Had a fuel tank, my fuel tank on the back of it, so just ran it around town here a little bit. Didn't take it much farther than that, but it's just time to junk that truck and get it out of here. So that's why I told Farmer's Daughter she could take the bed off of here. So I think that's a project we're working on this weekend. It's her weekend off at the hardware store, so I think she wants to work on this. So I'm going to call my welder, see if he can come down and weld something up for me here. Although I could probably cut some ears and maybe just drill a hole in the side and go through the frame. I'll see. I'll think about this a little bit more. I think I can get my ears out of this piece of iron here. I'll just cut maybe about 3 inches. So I'll just cut a couple of these 3 inches. This is some heavy iron. I can drill a hole through it, burn a hole through it, and then just bolt them up on there. That might be the cheapest route to go. Yep, I think that I may try that. Dead battery. This is the second one I cut. Didn't have the camera on when I cut the first one. I just got off the phone with the welder, so he is on his way down. And let me set this up here. All right, so I'm just trying to get everything level here. This will not actually sit on here. It's going to be that 4x4 that is running the length of that bed there. That is going to take this place and sit on top of here. I'm thinking, but the welder will tell me otherwise, that we bring this up to that and then weld it on that frame. Initially, I was going to drop it down here and put a 4x4 on there, but I don't believe we need to do that since I'm going to have these welded. Yeah, that's my idea. Now on the front, these ears sit lower, so I'm going to have to put a 4x4 on these 2 ears in order to raise that up, and so then this will sit on there, and then that will be level going towards the back there. So I'm gonna probably have him put one up here because it's gonna be a good distance, you know, to go from there all the way back behind the tire. But I'm thinking one here, somewhere in here, then another one right in here, and then another one right on the tail end. That's my thought. I guess he'll tell me otherwise when he gets here. And I've got 6 pieces cut, ready to go. Just waiting on the welder now. we've got these ears welded on there. We've got 3 of them on here, as you can see. Oh, you probably can't hear me, but there we go.
Thought you unplugged me.
No, I did not. Okay, what she's doing now is this body is too wide for her, so she's cutting about 3 inches off of each side of it, so about a ½ a foot total, just to narrow that up some. And I think what we figured is we're going to cut it right here and then measure 8 feet up from there, and the other cut is going to be somewhere in here, I believe. Those are oak boards on there, so they're a little tough to saw through. I guess she's going to come back with the Sawzall and cut through there the rest of the way.
Okay, we didn't have any grade 5 nuts, or lock nuts, so I got zinc lock nuts, but I had to find them in the new shipment, and then these were grade 8s, but we only had 4, so I have no choice. Nope, you're good.
Got it?
Yep.
Pull it out, come around this way, so I have to lift that bed up. Okay, we've just about got everything ready to lift off of here and put on the other truck. We've got all of our holes drilled. We've got these blocks mounted here, holes drilled to attach everything. So we've got a few bolts to take off on here, and we can lift this up. My welder just brought this channel down to me yesterday. I talked to him the week before and said, hey, I need a couple of pieces of channel to slip on my forks in order to lift one of my salt spreaders up. So I think this will fit in the slots of my salt spreader in my oldest one, and then I can lift it right off the truck without a problem. That's the game plan. But in the meantime, they're also going to work for this body, and we'll go in under those boards and have a good solid lift on them, because those are 7 feet and this is 6.5 feet.
We have 3 vehicles with dead batteries.
I guess my starter problem is not fixed. Now this has been running fine since I've put the new starter and solenoid on here. While we were cutting the rest of those boards, taking the nuts off to get that body off, this tractor was running. I told farmer's daughter to come over here and cut it off. Didn't need to be running that 10 minutes. Get back in it to turn it on to move everything, and it's dead, won't start, just a click. And of course, when I put it all back together, I put the safety shield back on here, being a nice little person, And now I've got to take it off in order to jump the starter. I don't understand this. That almost sounds like it's a grounding issue and not getting enough ground. So I'm going to try something else. I'm turning you off. Okay, I've done some diagnosing. I can't get it started, so I'm going down to the barn to get the skid steer and try to move it with the skid steer. I can get out.
If you go up, you can.
Yeah.
What it's about, but that was one of the things. They were like, it's supposed to, I think,
Same here.
that everybody, yes, that everybody is, well, I think it's a statement.
Okay, we're not working with a square vehicle here, or square body, I guess. When we cut it, we knew it wasn't quite square, but we were gonna set it on, well, we knew it was out of square based on the measurements and how we were taking them. But we allowed some room in order to cut a little bit off here. So we've got a mark going from nothing to about 1.5 inches here. So we're gonna cut it off and straighten it up.
You got it. Might need a step stool for that height. Oh, you're a lot taller than me.
How long were our longest half-inch bolts?
I don't know. Two that are 7, 2 that are 6, and 4 that are 5.5. Long one?
All the holes are drilled. I think it's ready to sit on here now and bolt it down.
Okay, towards the front a little bit. Okay, yep. We're in it.
Everything is bolted down. The only thing she's got left to do is to put lights on it, I guess, for the most part. But we've got it on there. I'm not real pleased. You see how our hitch is sticking out. We should have cut this bed a little bit longer, but oh well. That bed is, I don't think is going to be permanent on there, but it'll be okay. Okay, we're going to try to get this one back in the barn. It's running, but she doesn't have a battery in it. And the other thing, she put new brake lines on it, but yesterday when the welder was here, he didn't have a good ground initially, so I was on the back side with his ground trying to get it right. Well, when I got it right, it popped, and he just nicked that line there and put a hole in it. So she's going to have to put a coupling in there to repair that line again. And she's still waiting on a rubber gasket for her fuel tank, so she can get that put together here as well. But the worst of it is done. It's in the barn. She said she had it in neutral, but I'm not so sure if it was in neutral because that one tire was dragging. Oh well. Okay, that's my hitch, goes back in my truck. I think we've got everything else cleaned up that needs to be cleaned up. Okay, it's Friday evening. 4 o'clock. I guess we're going to the door tonight. It's going to be adult beverage time in another hour and a half. I'm going to say, see ya! See ya!